Hi everyone, Marilyn O'Malley here of MarilynO'Malley.com, and today I have a really interesting subject, and it's for empaths, so you healers, leaders, teachers, coaches. I think this is really an important subject and something that I keep having to learn more and go deeper and deeper within myself. So I want to share this with you today. So are you an empath? Do you feel you don't have control of your emotions when around other people? Do you feel like you're a leaf in the wind during the day as you go through your day, depending on your conditions? So how did you answer to those? So the definition of being an empathic is someone who has an emotional response to a vibration. That means that you are picking up a vibration from somebody else or from a situation or out of a room or out of the collective consciousness, and you are tapping in to a vibration and having an emotional experience about it. So the challenge is that when we call ourselves empaths or that we're empathic, I see, and I used to do this, used to think like we don't have any control over that, and that it's a good thing. We have these beliefs that support it's really important for us to be an empath, and it's a powerful tool to be an empath, and that we should be feeling what everybody else is feeling. And I'm going to challenge you on that today, because we don't want, and the other thing I wanted to add, another belief, because these are beliefs about being empaths, is that we believe it's good for us to feel other people's suffering and pain so we can relate. But here's the thing, right? If everything's vibration, right? If everything is all on vibrations, and we're tuning into everybody's pain. And so as a leader, as a coach, as a teacher, as a healer, if we're tuned in to their pain, then we're not being there unconditionally with them. We're there conditionally. Yes, I can feel it. I know what you feel like. Yes, you're in there with them. So one example is, when we go through coaching, one of the things that we're taught is don't go down the well with your client. And so basically that is one of what I'm talking about, is a lot of times the people get caught up in and can relate and start to pull their history out of their life from their feelings that they're picking up on, and feel all that moved. You can't, you've got your tentacles in it then, and you can't have this bigger perspective of where you can take them and where you can and what is possible for them, because you're down in the well. And as long as you're down in the well, you're like, yeah, I can see, look at, we're down here, it's really a hard climb up there. Versus if you're up on top of the well and saying, come on out, it's a beautiful day out here, we can go for a swim, there's other possibilities and opportunities and things that can happen. Then you aren't doing yourself any good, and you are dragging yourself down, and you are keeping whoever it is that you're wanting to expand their life stuck, right? So that's something to think about. And so another thing is, so what happens, right, is when we don't have control over our emotions, and we just think that the empath in us is just going to go around and we're going to feel everybody, and woe is me, and God, one minute I'm down, the next minute I'm up, and I don't know, and you go home and you feel drained, right? So you're allowing yourself to tap in to the lowest vibe, to the lowest vibration. You don't have any intention to help you create a deliberate way, deliberate feeling. So really, when you are empathic, you want to be neutral. You want to be unconditional with the people that you're with. Unconditional is like notice it, but don't take it on as your own. That's really important, and it's also a great way that you won't be as drained, and you won't be exhausted, or you'll have better experiences, and you're doing yourself and everybody else a favor. You're more inspiring and uplifting for that. So, and that shows up to date, right? If we I'll just, for another example that's actually happening in our world, right, is all the stuff that's happening in our world. There's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of emotions being thrown around all over the place. And I have, when I've been overwhelmed with a lot of stuff happening at the same time, I lose track that I'm in control, and so I will get caught up in like, oh my God, and start to get depressed or start to feel grief or feeling what all of that is, and it drags me down and it makes me sick, and I'm not myself. I'm not myself. So this whole thing is about you're not yourself when you do this, and you're not in your power and in your energy, and you're not doing what you're here to do. So when I get that way, when I get caught up in politics and the emotions that are being thrown all around, or in the news, or what somebody else's drama is being created, if I get sucked into that, then I lose me. And so this is what I'm wanting to help teach you, is like, we don't want to lose you. We want you to be really strong in you. And I'm going to be sharing with you in this how to keep you in it, and how to make some changes here that will help you be an empowered person who has the ability to read energy, and lead and coach and teach and heal others without taking them on yourself. So I guess what I'm saying here is you need to prepare yourself daily. There's a daily practice that you can create for helping yourself not connect into that lowest vibe and connect into your higher vibration. So one of the things that we can do is reframe what it means to be an empath or be empathic, right? So in order to do that, we need to change what your beliefs are about being empathic. So we need to look at, like, do you believe it's a good thing that you're feeling everybody's stuff and taking it on? The other things that I said about the beliefs. So when you are believing that you should be feeling everybody's feelings and taking on all of these, and you don't have that centeredness in yourself and creating your own deliberate emotions, you are living in a very conditional life. Your life is conditioned by your outside environment. You're letting everybody else run your life. You're not running it. You're not in control. And so you're responding to all the conditions around you. So this is, as you see when I say that, so this is in business and in your personal life. Like, are you responding to all the fires and everything and how everybody's feeling in your business as a CEO, as a leader, as a manager, or even as a employee? And in your personal life, are you letting your family and family members and friends and, like I said, the news or the media or whatever's happening in the markets, right, rule you from what other people are feeling? So one of the, so looking at those beliefs and understanding, so changing to a belief that I control my emotions and feelings. They're my responsibility. That, not all the feelings I'm feeling are mine. And so I need to be responsible for what are my feelings and what it is that I want to feel. And the other thing is we can name what it means to be empathic. So some of the words that you could use is that you're an observer, you're an energy reader, you're evaluating, you're a seer, you're aware, you're conscious. So when you say those things to yourself, or somebody like, I'm aware that this energy is here now, or that you are feeling this energy. But it's not like I am aware that I am going to take on your energy, that I am going to feel that to the core of me. So starting to see yourself in a new way, having that ability to read energy, to be aware of energy, to be conscious of energy, and knowing that that is not your responsibility to take that on, and thinking about how can you, what staying in your energy, holding your ground of your higher vibrations. And what are those higher vibrations? Love, gratitude, caring, being compassionate, appreciative, love and above. Really holding a bigger space for the well-being of all and yourself. So as a healer and as coaches, we have to learn how to control our feelings and emotions so we can be the best healer, coach, teacher, leader, in a way that is unconditional and expansive and is open to possibilities, and we can be good listeners. And it's all right that you feel that you start to cry if somebody starts to cry. That's fine. But you're it's all right that you laugh when they laugh, right? Those are certain things, but you're not taking on and feeling to the depths of you. You're holding that space. You're holding that space of well-being. And so, because like I said earlier, you can't coach somebody if you're conditional. You can't lead somebody into new areas if you're conditional in the way that it is, because you're gonna be limited in your perspective, and you're not going to see the bigger picture. So, I mean, you can coach that way, you can lead that way, you can heal that way, but you're not going to have the results, and they're not going to have the results that really could happen, that would be really expansive for everybody, for the well-being of everybody. So let me see here. Oh, so I'll give you another example of this, right? I see this a lot with women. So there'll be a women's group, right? Somebody comes in and they're like, oh man, their life's been so good, they're in love, they're da 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 da, and then you come into the group and you're meeting, and all of a sudden one of them says, oh, I just broke up, or I'm getting divorced, or I just lost my job, or something. Now, compassion and being empathetic are two different things. So a lot of times what I see when that happens is the women all lower their energy and focus and tap into her energy, and everybody's energy gets lowered. Whereas if you held your energy of where you're at, it will tend, if everybody's held their energy, it would tend to help pull that person out that's in the lower energy out of that a bit. Not that they don't have to grieve and all that stuff, I'm not saying that, but that they are having, they're in a space where they see other things are possible because you've experienced life just as this person is experiencing life. So those are some examples. So now I'm going to help you. How do you tune into a higher vibration, right? How is it that you should prepare yourself daily? And I would say doing this in a meditation. And it can be a short meditation, and you can do this, could be like 5 minutes, and it could be in your regular meditation. But really what you're doing is you're quieting your mind. So you're pulling yourself out of the environment that you're in and from all the people. So you're pulling all your energy into you, and you're coming here, right here and now, and you're letting go of any resistance. So letting go of the beliefs, letting go of the things that the shoulds, the, all of the chatter around any of the things that are in your environment. So you're coming into the present moment, letting go of the resistance, and you're connecting in with yourself. So with your some call it inner guidance system, your soul. You're listening. You're turning inward and listening. And you're also connecting to source, God, quantum field, again, whatever you call it. It's like you're becoming one with everything. And in that space, when you do that, you and your natural vibration will rise up. When you start to get rid of all the things, all the conditions, right? We want to let go of all of the conditions and be in this present moment, right here, right now, and connect in with possibility and the energies of Source and Mother Earth. There's a feeling that you get, and that's your life force, your soul, your inner guidance system, whatever you want to call that. And you're naturally in a state of being unconditional here. You just are. And when you can start operating from that unconditional state, things will change. So practicing that every day, whether it's 5 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour or a periodic minute here and there, just coming back, checking in, connecting in, tuning in, fine-tuning. You're fine-tuning. That's a lot. So when you find yourself, right, being swept around emotionally by everybody around you or your environment and what's happening and the collective conscious or whatever it is, remember, I'm not in charge. I need to take some deliberate action here to connect into me and to find that place where I'm unconditional. And so that's a muscle that you're going to have to be learning. So here's some things to remember. Remember, you've got more going on around you than the conditioning around you, right? There's more to you than what's happening around you. You have the energy in you, and you have this energy out here. You don't have to earn a better emotion or feeling to bring it up within you. You don't have to do things. You don't have to accomplish that goal. You don't have to have the lover. You don't have to have the money. You don't have to have the house or whatever it is that you think you have to have in order to be happy, to feel love, to feel abundant, to feel gratitude. All of those are in you already. There's nothing you have to do, be, or have in order to pull up, to tap in, to feel turned on in your life. It's up to you. That's a really big thing for you to learn. And when you're stuck, being an empath within your environment, you're blocking love, you're blocking gratitude, you're resisting what is possible. You're resisting your alignment with yourself and with Source and creating more suffering. I want you to get, when you're empathic with others, right, and you go down that well with them, or you're commiserating with them, there's no good men, there's not enough, all of the lack and stuff, the lack of love, the lack of money, the lack of whatever. When you're commiserating in that, you're creating more of that, and you're tapping into that, and you're helping feed that in the world. What do you want to be feeding in the world? What are the emotions that you want to be living? What are the conditions you want to be living? So be unconditional and in your experiences with people and with yourself, right? Because every moment is new. Everything is new here. I've never experienced this before. I get to create it in this moment. I get to feel right now connected to you or not connected to you. I get to be in fear right now or in lack, but that's not what I want. I want abundance. I want to connect with you. I'm filled with love and joy. Now there's not things happening in my life every single moment that is telling me I'm or making me feel that love and joy. That's generated inside. It's generated inside. So if we want peace in the world, we need to be peaceful. Right? So we can't, we can understand and have compassion for people that aren't peaceful or that are struggling for peace right now. All of those things, all of the disruptions and eruptions that are happening in the world, and we can hold that higher vibration of peace happening and them finding their peace, and that they will have the wherewithal to have intuition, and people, events, things will come to help support them, to help support us, to, help make the changes that we're asking for in the world. So realizing that conditions don't get you into your inner vibe. You do. So I hope this is helpful and that you get to see that how being responsible for your energy and what you're doing and being neutral with the empathic energy, that the readings and stuff that you're doing, that you don't take those on and you just see it as information, and it is, and then but you stay and create on a daily basis, and maybe even an hourly basis sometimes when there's a lot of stuff happening. I'm like always having to come back to my center, come home to me, come home. What do I want to create here? What am I holding? What energy am I holding as a coach, as a leader, as a teacher? What am I wanting to create in the world? And it's not it's not following other people and where they're at necessarily, unless they're high energy people. And they're, that they're unconditional and they can be with me that way too, right? So we're all learning from each other. So reframe, practice choosing the higher vibe, your own vibe, creating that, being unconditional, and not reframe the word about what it means to be empathic to yourself, so you won't feel stuck and you won't feel like you're a victim, because it doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. And change your beliefs about what it means to be able to read energy. It's fascinating. There is a gift to reading energy or being a seer or having that information, but not taking it on is not. So that is a deficit for you and for whoever you're with. All right, until we meet next time, love, live, and matter. Take care. Marilyn O'Malley at MarilynO'Malley.com. Bye.